We're going to do a distortion pedal comparison. We're going to go through a bunch of distortion pedals opposed to overdrive pedals, with the exception of the MI Audio, which is the shiny one to your left. It's more of an overdrive pedal, and I'll try to illustrate that. You're going to see the label on all these and kind of be able to identify it, but you're not going to see the settings for a couple reasons. One is these knobs that are underneath these tapes will vary. If you bought the same pedal, they're going to vary. The electronic components are going to vary a little bit. So even if you set it the same way, they're going to be like microscopically different. So the other reason is that I have a sound that I like in my head. I tried to set all these to that. So by me getting each pedal as close to that sound as possible, it will give me a bit of a reference, or give you a bit of a reference. So you're going to be looking for things such as brighter, one pedal's brighter, one is darker, one is brighter and darker, and differences in distortion characters or gain structures. My settings are kind of more of bedroom type settings, where it may sound better playing alone in a bedroom. May or may not, probably leaning towards the may not work so well in a recorded or in a band. In a band it might not cut with other instruments, may not be intelligible when competing with other instruments, and in a recording it might need things like bass cut, or it may mask other instruments that are being recorded, or it may sound too small or tinny. So what you'll take from this is kind of, I like this pedal or this pedal better, these couple pedals not so much, I don't like any of them, or I like all of them, that type of deal. I'm using a purple, or better yet, the real name's jewel blue Ibanez RG470, which I have another video where it was upgraded in a previous video. So the other video, you can look through my videos and see it should be there. Maybe I got deleted or whatnot, but it'll show the jewel blue Ibanez upgrades that I did. I'm using I'm not picturing it in the other video, I pictured the name tag only. It's an Ibanez TBX-150h head, and I set it what I thought was a good clean. I set a good clean where if you hit the bassier strings, the bass isn't overbearing, then you move up in the middle of the neck and you hit the mid section on the clean channel, and the mids aren't up too high or low. And the treble, when you hit the higher strings, the treble isn't too high or low. So the bass, middle, and treble is all kind of balanced or even, and the gain on it's not too much, it'll start distorting the clean channel. All pedals will be using an AC adapter except the MI Audio Tube Zone, which is using a battery. I'm using a 2x12 closed back cabinet loaded with Eminence Wizards, which tend to be fairly sensitive, have tight bass and prominent upper mids. The cab is tilted back a little bit and it's aimed at the wall, so most of the sound is ambient or reflected sound to the camera mic. I'm going to try to set the amp a little bit low in volume to keep the mic and the camera from overloading. I also talked about this cable here. It has a circuit breaker on it. It's a Planet Waves. I found that they do make these cables, and this is going to my amp. That way I can, here's on. You can hear the sound start. Now I have it off with the switch out in the out position clicked off. You won't be able to hear the amp, so it's a quick way for me to change between pedals here. So the first one is our MI Audio Tube Zone Overdrive. Now I'll turn it on. Gauge the amp. It's kind of a mess. So I said I'm going to turn this down a little bit. There must be a gate or something built into the pedal, but my biggest thing is that it's more of an overdrive pedal. So that's my clean channel. If I turn this off, you can hear my clean setting. Turn it on. That's just the clean channel. But if I change to I just changed the distortion channel, and you can hear where it really shines, so I'm going to put it through the paces. This is our MXR M116 Fullbore metal pedal. Again, it's on our clean channel, and I tamed it down so I'm not overloading the camera mic. There's our clean. There's our sound. This is our Zoom TM01, Zoom Tri-Metal TM01. Clean. This is a Boss Hypermetal HM3. Here's our clean. This pedal, one that I want to say, I didn't do it so much on the Tube Zone Overdrive, but this one, this is my neck pickup. This pedal I just got, and it strikes me as a screamer, like a screaming lead pedal. I just switched to my neck pickup, and I think that this would be a good lead pedal in addition to the Tube Zone Overdrive. That's why I still have it. The rest are more of a rhythm distortion type, so I'm going to move on. This is a Monte Allum modded Metal Zone MT2, Boss Metal Zone. I got the kit off the internet. It comes with some electronics, and you have to pull the knobs off and then pull the little electronic thing out and solder some components on there. First I put all the components in. I didn't really like the sound, so then I would take I put it back to stock, and then I would put one component in at a time and check off that I like this component. And there was probably 10 or 12 different components that changed, so I went through each one of those and replaced them one at a time, and I took note of which ones I liked, and then I put them back in. So it's a partial Monte Allum kit. It's not the entire kit soldered in place. And I probably could have took the ones I liked and tried the additional ones to see if, and then put two components in, but I just wanted to draw the line and get the mod done, you know, at some point in time. So I went through and, like I said, I put them all in, didn't like it so much, so I took them out and put it back to stock, and then I would change them one at a time, note it, and then change it back to stock. And then when I got everyone that I noted, I changed just the noted parts that I liked. So I could have went back and changed the parts that I didn't like and added them too, like changed them one at a time, but I just did it one cycle through. Here's our clean sound. I'm going to gauge a pedal. This is a stock Metal Zone. this is a Keeley modded Metal Zone, Boss Metal Zone MT2. This is my first pedal ever, and I found that you could send it away to Keeley. I knew that Keeley had a accident of some sorts and he was down for a while. I think he's back up, I'm unsure. You can look it up on the internet if you care. But it has a three-way position here, so this switch goes this way, in the middle, and this way. The Monte Allum also had the switch, but I set it in a position I liked and then forget about it, set it and forget it type deal. So this is one way, and I don't care to do the other ways. Like, you know, you can buy the pedal yourself and try it three ways. I get the sound closest to the reference, so you can make a determination. Here's our clean. Here's our clicked in. This is the Digitech Distortion Factory DF7. It has a number of models, 1 through 7. I think I like one in the middle somewhere. Like I said, you can buy the pedal and try all the settings. This is closest to the reference as I can get. There's our clean. There's our engage pedal. This is a Digitech. It says Hardwire on it, so it's part of the name, I guess. This is a Digitech TL2 metal distortion. It has, again, one of these switches that goes tight or loose. You'll get to see this little function because I didn't cover it up, but it's set in a tight position. Here's our clean. Here's our engaged. In each of these videos I tried to use the same playing pattern, so I'll show you kind of what I did. The first I did palm muting of chords. Sometimes I left the last open instead of, I'll do it totally muted. Okay, see how that's kind of boring? So certain times I left the last open so you could hear a differentiation, maybe an accent, whatever you want to call it. And then the second I left it open, all those chords open, so you could hear it instead of being palm muted, what it would sound like. Then I figured you probably want to hear like kind of a speed run. All this was done on the lower register. Like I said, if you don't like it, you can go buy the pedals. So if it's picky and you have to be blatantly rude and don't like the thing, don't watch it, go buy your own. So the second part was kind of a speed run, where it was predominantly open. Then I kind of used the same thing, picked up and down, because if I picked this, it would kind of be boring. In speed muted. Okay, so what I did is I extended it, went up and back on the same thing, and then up. So this, to spread it out, being it's muted, everything passes fairly quickly, so I'll do the whole thing. And then for the last thing, I wanted to illustrate a harmonic. And a harmonic by itself, I'm kind of hitting my pick and then a little portion of the thumb to dampen the sound. And then up here, I kind of pull it a little bit because that kind of stretches that out real quick, that muted string. See, I can do it without pulling the string. but if I pull the string, it makes it all the faster. Okay, so why didn't I just do that? Well, why not make it a little bit interesting and you kind of lead into it? So I don't know, that's my demo. Like I said, if you don't like it, you're free to just turn it off at any point, or you can buy the equipment yourself and do it yourself. But I don't know, maybe you'll get some use out of this than just nitpicking things to death. If I had to pick, I don't know, I kind of like them all, but certain ones stick out, like the HM3 for leads, and the Tube Zone Overdrive on a drive channel is illustrated. And as far as my rhythm, I kind of like the Keeley Metal Zone. I like the Distortion DF7, Distortion Factory DF7, and I like the TL2, the Metal Distortion, the Digitech TL2 Metal Distortion the best, because I get more pummel in the palm muted chords, and it seems open and clear, and the speed runs, whether muted or open, seem to be quick and crisp, and the harmonics, the pinch harmonics or ghost harmonics, seem like they scream out more. All those three things are balanced, but any one of these pedals I wouldn't be afraid to get somebody for Christmas that's into heavy metal. Thanks.